When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's up, Boise State fans? Happy Tuesday to you. Jay Tust, sports director over at KTVB, gracing us with his presence this morning. My name is BJ Rains, not the director, I guess, whatever, the operator of Bronco Nation News. And we do this every day at 9 a.m., Bronco Nation News Live, with a variety of different hosts. And Jay does it twice a week, and this is the first appearance on a Tuesday. Jay, appreciate you, man. We had fun last night, man. I got a clip cut up that I may put on social media later of literally 60 seconds that described the show, with you making a fantasy football pick and Johnny saying something crazy. But that was a fun show last night for subscribers, man.
Yeah, it was good. I think I made it out okay in my fantasy draft. So
Russell Wilson in the 9th round, was it?
I think it was the 8th.
Okay.
No, seventh round. Yeah. So no, I think it all went good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a few laughs, and anytime I can get on this thing with Johnny, it's usually a good time.
Yeah, and then Johnny and Winston Venable had some good conversations too as the show went on. Chris saying that was an awesome show last night. Subscription well worth it. Appreciate that, guys. I do have a short clip from Winston Venable. If you missed the show last night, it was an email was sent to your the subscribers' emails, a link to watch the show. There were a couple of subscribers that told me they never got it. So if you have Gmail, you need to start checking your promotional folder. I believe that's where a lot of these are going. But if you're not a subscriber, here's Winston Venable talking about the 2010 game against Virginia Tech, Jay, and what that experience was like. And it ends with a interesting behind-the-scenes story here about Winston Venable.
So that was a hyped up game. I think we knew who we were going into it. We're going into the Washington Redskins Stadium, and I mean we're going in there to win. I mean we know that's what our mission is. We know that's what we accomplish. So I mean, me personally, I'm out on the field, first one out on the field, running through all my blitz patterns, doing all sorts of striders, totally geeked out. Played probably 3 football games before the coin toss. I was a captain of the game, and I was cramping second quarter. Calves were cramping. I'm on the sideline trying to drink waters and get my calves cramped out. So for me personally, I contributed very little to that game, which is a dagger to my heart because it was such a big time game. But yeah, we went out there, entered the Sandman, and shut up about 90,000, 86,000 deep, and we got that win. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a sad deal, man. I was drinking so much fluids that I had to go to the bathroom. But you learn a little trick. You just throw a couple towels down there and then throw the towels away after, and you don't have to go to the locker room.
I love it.
Inside info for the viewers.
There you go. Maybe that should have stayed on BNN After Dark, but that was one of the many stories from last night. And next time you see guys with a couple towels around them, Jay, now you never know what might be happening. You're muted again, Jay. Hold on. You're muted.
I usually keep a couple towels over here just because you usually make this program go about 8 minutes longer than scheduled. So
that is, I would go 3 or 4, but
I keep a couple towels over here.
All right. Well, we'll try to keep it at exactly 30 today. But, I would say 3 or 4. I don't know. 8 might be pushing it a little bit.
Whatever.
We do occasionally. But for anyone that missed the show last night, we still are offering our promo. Another quick plug. If you sign up for a full year subscription, you can get a $25 gift card, and you can use this gift card, Jay, at the Blue and Orange store or at Pro Image if you want to get that new Seahawks gear or whatever. So sign up for a 1-year subscription, get a $25 gift card while supplies last. We're starting to run out, so make sure you get that done today. And if you do sign up today, I'll send you the link. You can still watch the show from yesterday. And again, appreciate you, Jay, for giving up your time last night, and Johnny and Prater and Jay and Winston, and maybe we'll add a little something extra to the next paycheck. I appreciate you guys doing that. So, but we had a busy day yesterday. Way before that, hearing from Andy Avalos, Spencer Danielson, Tim Plow. A lot to get into, Jay. We got some clips from Andy Avalos, but what did kind of stand out to you about the depth chart? There's a lot of fascinating things. Like I kind of want to maybe later save some of the George Halani talk for a little later once we talk to George Halani this week on Wednesday, I believe. That was notable, obviously, that it sounds like he's going to be much more of a every down workhorse back. But what else stood out to you about what we heard yesterday?
Yeah. We'll I guess we'll save the Halani talk for another day.
I mean, you can touch on it if you'd like. Go ahead.
There's quite a bit of it. I mean, it goes back to, I'm trying to get out in front of this thing to create a soundbite. But again, if George Halani stays healthy, I think he's the offensive player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. Back in the days when Jeremy McNichols and Jay Ajayi would run up 320-plus touches in a season, I think you're going to see a similar campaign for George Halani. 300 touches is a lot, and I know that they got to manage his workload a little bit, so maybe he can't quite get there, but I think that he's going to push that threshold this season, and if he does, it's going to be a special year. He's dynamic. He can catch the ball. He can run the football. It goes through him, and so I'm just going to put that out there right now. I think if he stays healthy, he's the offensive player of the year in the Mountain West. Outside of that, if you jump on over to the defensive side of the ball, there was a little bit of a shakeup there with Isaiah Banya moving back to the edge position. I don't really think there were too many surprises for us, BJ. I think for a while now we've been talking, there were 4 cornerbacks we felt like were in the starting mix. And I think the 2 that we've said all along that are kind of leading the way there, Caleb Biggers and Markel Reed, won out. It seemed like Rodney Robinson edged just ahead of Shea Oladipo at that free safety position, and that's what the depth chart told us yesterday too. So I don't think really a ton of surprises from what we've seen and what we've known.
I'll say one mild surprise, and we'll hear from Andy Avalos, was DJ Schramm for me. When not after what we had heard the coaches say, but yeah. I mean, I kind of was leaning that direction. They let us talk to him. You could kind of tell sometimes. We didn't talk to Brandon Hawkins. We didn't talk to Andrew Simpson. And the other candidate was DJ Schramm, and we talked to him. We didn't talk to Shea Oladipo. We talked to Rodney Robinson. A lot of the guys they were giving us, and George Tarlas was the starter, so you can kind of read between the lines sometimes with who they were putting available to the media. But going into camp, I think we all just assumed, okay, they're moving Isaiah Banya to Will. He's going to be the starter there. And, DJ Schramm wasn't even playing that linebacker spot. He was backing up Zeke Noah last year. And for him to move over and then beat out, 3 other guys when Andrew Simpson was in the mix, you had Brandon Hawkins and you have Isaiah Banya. I mean, that says a lot about DJ Schramm. We'll get to Banya going back in a second. But first, for Schramm, for him to come over there and beat out a guy that I thought it was all set up for him to have the spot, that says a lot about DJ Schramm, man.
I think that it holds consistent with DJ Schramm's career and what we've known about his characters. He's a competitor. He's always prepared. He's just been waiting for a time that he could get on the field and shine, and apparently now is that time. And there's a little bit of it. The linebacker is the one kind of interesting spot on this team, because even behind Zeke now, you have a redshirt freshman that's never played in a football game in Marco Notarini. And I know that the coaches, Spencer Danielson praised him yesterday, but at the same time, like you go from a 6th-year senior to a redshirt freshman that's never played.
And I think you asked the question. Was that you that asked the question? Like, is he really the next guy to go in, or were they just move? And they can say what they want, but I believe we all believe Brandon Hawkins or somebody might slide over.
Maybe DJ Schramm goes back there. Brandon Hawkins goes to the weak side spot. I don't know. And I mean, I'm only expect them to give me so much in that case, and maybe if it's long term, there's probably a different answer versus if it's a few snaps. I have no clue. But anyways, yeah. So I like it in the sense that now all of a sudden you have Andrew Simpson on the depth chart, right? You need to bring some of these young linebackers along at some point in time. And by moving Banya back to The edge position, he's obviously thrived there in the past. You get a younger guy that might actually see the field now that you need for the future. And, I don't know if like Isaiah doesn't play that weak side linebacker spot ever. He could be an intriguing option for blitz packages or whatever. I mean, they've been creative like that in the past before, so his versatility could make him kind of a chess piece given the matchup or the day.
Here's Andy Avalos talking about DJ Schramm.
You know what? He showed up every single day and is able to lead, to communicate, to help run a defense. And obviously he's been able to execute his responsibility and do his job at a very high level.
Short and sweet from Andy Avalos. I will say one thing about Andy Avalos, man. I don't know if I can remember a coach's press conference, Jay, where we literally ran out of questions. We still had time. They said one more question and nobody said anything.
Oh.
There's a give and take there with sometimes too small of answers. Sometimes, but I mean, you talk about previous coaches here. I'll just say that where you got lucky in a 30-minute presser if you got 2 or 3 questions in as individually. I think I asked like 6 or 7 questions yesterday, and literally we looked around and nobody else had any questions, and there was still time left, so he stopped a minute early.
I appreciate it in the sense that there's like when in a previous press conference are we able to ask about Marco Notarini, a backup linebacker?
You had to pick and choose, man.
Yeah, you had to pick and choose like your top 3 questions, and you would just cross your fingers that you could get any of those in. So
Devin Wright probably wouldn't have been one of the first questions asked.
Exactly, and so it just got to a point in the press conference where you're like, oh man, I can actually ask you a little bit about these guys. So I appreciate it from that sense, just because I know there's been a lot of talk about George Tarlas leading the team in sacks, but like kind of caught wind that Devin Wright's had quite a few sacks as well, and he certainly seems to be coming along, despite the fact he's a JUCO guy that they're trying to get up to speed quickly. So just things like that, it's kind of cool, and even asking a few more questions about George Tarlas and JD. You're right. Harsh at times, especially that opening statement.
That was part of the problem.
He would break down. He would go through everything, and we're 8 minutes into a press conference, and we're like, you almost forget your questions because it's been so long.
Knowing we only have 25 minutes, and we're at 12 minutes in, and he's still filibustering with the opening statement. That was not always fun. Yeah, there were times last year, or maybe the year before, or not last year, but with Harsin, where I'd get one question in the entire press conference.
Yeah, that's why hard to complain.
Yeah, we much appreciated to Craig Lawson and Sarah Joram and at Boise State, and of course Andy Avalos for the information and the time yesterday. But Rodney Robinson, you mentioned him as well, and that was another one that I think we were reading between the lines. We could kind of tell at that point. That's an interesting one to me. I mean, dude, he's 5'8", and he's certainly a much different player, but when we talked to him, we talked to Spencer Danielson. He talked about calling him a savvy player and using his, smarts and speed and other things because he's just not the biggest guy out there. But Rodney Robinson wins that starting spot at safety, although it does sound like both guys are going to play.
I love it, man. Like, and a big reason why is because I go back to like the heydays of the Legion of Boom with the Seahawks, right? We had Cam Chancellor, the biggest, most physical, strong safety in the game. And at free safety, we had what was kind of an undersized free safety at the time, and Earl Thomas, who was rangy and could cover a ton of ground, right? And now you kind of have, who does J.L. Skinner say that he watches, compares himself to, but NFL film that he likes to watch? Cam Chancellor, right? And now you have kind of that Earl Thomas type free safety over the top. It's a little bit smaller, but can cover a lot of ground. And one thing that I think that fans are going to love about this defense, I think that you are going to see them play with confidence and swagger. If there is a big play, I don't think you're just going to see them saunder off the field. I think you're going to see them. It's going to look like they enjoy doing what they do and playing, beside one another. I think you're going to see some swagger out of this defense. Not too much or anything, but I think it's going to be a noticeable thing with this defense where you're like, man, these guys like playing with each other and they have fun doing it.
Well, let's switch and talk offense and some of the things that came up on the depth chart there, notably Taylon Green winning the quarterback spot at QB2. But first, do want to thank a couple of our great sponsors, Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com, 13 Idaho locations. Make sure you check them out, the at-home shopping, the Skip app, home delivery, all that great stuff. You can check them out, shopridleys.com. The Blue and Orange Store, again, we're doing the special. I only got a few gift cards left, so sign up for a 1-year subscription to Bronco Nation News today, and you get a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange Store. Buy that new gear for the season, or you can use it at Pro Image and buy an NFL or NBA gear as well. But $25 gift card just for signing up for a 1-year subscription at Bronco Nation News. You can get free shipping on any order over $40, by the way, at the Blue and Orange Store.com. Matt Boucher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Make sure you check him out. No home is too big or too small for Matt Boucher. Again, 243-8222. You can get more information online at BoucherRealEstate.com. Looking for dinner? Westside Pizza. Check them out, Westside Pizza. Use that promo code BNN25. BNN25 is the promo code. WestsidePizza.com. It gets you 25% off your order, 25% off your total order. And they've got a $10 carry-out large pizza special. So if you use the promo code, it's $7.50 for a large pizza. Check it out. The promo code is BNN25. And, of course, Timberstone Golf Course. I saw R.J. Keene at the FedEx tournament wearing his Timberstone golf course hat. He's got an NIL deal with them, but make sure you check out playtimberstone.com. Perfect time to book a tee time as the weather's starting to cool down a little bit here. It was just unbelievable on Sunday. Playtimberstone.com. You can book your tee time. The best greens in the valley, about a 30-minute drive from the Flying Y, Timberstone Golf Course. Well, Jay, the offense, we saw yesterday the offensive stuff come out. Kurt Blake, he's been championing for this since I think the day we started the show. Kurt Blake says Taylon Green should be QB1. That's obviously not happening, but QB2, Taylon Green. I don't know which way you thought this would go. I don't remember if I asked your actual final prediction. Me and Johnny talked about this yesterday before the depth chart came out, and we were both kind of thinking it would be Taylon Green. Mike Prater said last night on the subscriber show that he thought there was a little politics involved with it too, just because of his Taylon Green's future and things like that. And Sam Vidlak's already transferred; he's not transferring again. Is one of the things that Mike had said. But where are you on Taylon Green? And again, he's one of the fastest players on the team. He obviously appears to be QB of the future here at Boise State as early as maybe next year. But Taylon Green is a redshirt freshman, man. Very intriguing as that backup quarterback.
Yeah. It's a depth chart, and to some degree, I'd probably agree with Prater. I mean, there's no reason that they have to. It's just a depth chart. I don't know how many times that we're even led to believe like this is 100% fact, exactly the case, things like that. But at the very least, man, like we know Taylon Green's a very special athlete. We know at some point in time he is going to By the way, my daughter is trying to get into the office with a broom.
Ha!
So we have that going on.
Bring her in if you want to. That's all right. She's cleaning for you, getting the tops of the door.
I guess. Oh, she's a character. That's so awesome. Sorry.
No, that's okay. If you need to go check on her, that's okay.
Yeah, no, we're good right now. She's good. She's just being silly back there. So, anyways, yeah. It was I'm not going to call it a clean sweep there for Taylon over sorry, I had to over Sam Vidlak or anything. I think both guys are going to be important to that room. Here's the thing that stood out to me yesterday, BJ, and this is what I wanted to bring up. Yeah, there were a lot of oars on the depth chart, whether it be cornerback, backup, quarterback, maybe even an offensive line position, nose tackle. Like the thing that stood out to me is that there were some difficult decisions that coaches had to make on who is going to be the guy that actually starts, right? And so I'm not I don't love that cliche dependable depth. I get that the coaches have to push that. I think competitive depth is a better explainer because it means that you guys have on the depth chart that are competing. They're competing to get on the field. And it just seems like Boise State is in a much better position now than they were a year ago. You want to feel like you have 20 guys on that roster that can start a football game for you, right? But only 11 on offense and only 11 on defense can. And so I think they're in a position now where their competitive depth is much better than it's been in the past. I mean, look at that nose tackle position, BJ. You got a really experienced guy like Jackson Cravens and Herbert Gums, and all of a sudden Michael Callahan, who's played some football here at Boise State, is third on that depth chart. Like, they got some depth there that they probably feel a lot better about this year than they did at this time last year.
No doubt about it. Here's Andy Avalos talking about Taylon Green.
And Green will be the number 2 quarterback as it sits right now. He's done, again, a really good job from year number 1 to year number 2, and him being comfortable being in the system for the second year. He's done obviously his knowledge of the offense and being able to operate it. It's not just his assignments, it's running the whole show from the time he gets on the field. A lot of that has to do with his preparation and how that's grown, and he's going to continue to need to make strides in how he prepares so that he could keep growing throughout the season. We all know that the backup quarterback does not get as many reps throughout the course of the year as they do in camp. So what he does in his preparation is going to be huge to continue to grow. Sam did a really good job too. I mean, that thing was neck and neck. We feel really confident about that room and overall where they're all at right now.
Does that cover for Taylon? Does that cover all situations as you're going into the season now, or could it be fluid and maybe Sam could be number 2?
Right now, TG is the backup quarterback.
And I Mike's asking there basically, I guess, if is it different if Hank goes down and say the first quarter as opposed to something different, or could the scenario actually change who would come in? And you heard it right there. He says, no, Taylon Green's our backup quarterback. Do you still think they find him a role? I mean, I've been saying it for a long time, and I don't remember when you came on and left last night on the show, Jay, if we talked about this or not, but I really believe that they're going to find a way to get Taylon Green on the field. And I know Tim Plow kind of went both ways on it. He said, well, yeah, if he's one of your best athletes and he'll help you win, then sure. But also, that's a lot to put on a young kid's plate like that when he has to learn the full, playbook and game plan and all that kind of stuff. Where are you on Taylon Green having a role on the offense, or at least getting a play here and there?
I think he's so athletic that you can't ignore that. You can't dismiss that. I also think that, he's young, Sam's new, they're probably still figuring it out. And I mean, let's face it, you truly don't know until you get these guys in the fire, right? So I think it's something that's going to play out. I would be surprised if we don't see Taylon here and there in certain packages. As you've been saying for a little while now, I agree with that. We saw it at times last year. And so, and there is an absolute song and dance. Let's not ignore it. With what college football is currently like these days. You do have to worry about the transfer portal. You have to worry about these types of things. And so you have to try to balance it all out, take care of everybody. This isn't the NCAA of 10 years ago where when a kid signed his letter of intent, he was basically locked in to that for 4 to 5 years. And I just think that that certainly plays a part in all this. That being said, you feel pretty good about that quarterback room, knowing that Sam Vidlac, knowing how athletic Taylon Green is and how much that coaching staff really believes in him and likes him. Sam Vidlac was able to come in and make that backup competition interesting. So, I mean, that in itself says a lot right there, in my opinion, that you got 2 dudes in that room behind Hank that are ready to go and can offer this team something.
Wide receiver, I mean, anything stand out to you there about Billy Bowens and Latrell Caples, both earning starting spots there?
Not really. I think it holds consistent, man. I think that Steph Cobbs is going to be a dude. I think that Billy's going to get a chance to shine. I think we're going to see plenty of Austin Bolt this year. And Latrell Caples is a guy that, it's funny when you ask coaches about certain guys and just their reaction to them. And you kind of got a feeling like Latrell is kind of might be a special dude just because, they talk about his character and he's quiet, but he always shows up and little things like that. And so, I think that it's going to be cool to see what he can do with a few more touches this fall. I think I said this on the show last week, BJ. There's 4 wide receivers on that roster that have a catch. Again, 4 wide receivers, not tight ends, wide receivers on the roster that have a catch in the blue and orange. Latrell Caples is the only underclassman. And so if Boise State of the future is going to be good, no doubt Latrell Caples is going to be a part of that plan.
Well, you mentioned him being an underclassman. That's one of the final two things I want to hit on real quick before we get out of here. But first, I want to tell you about United Commercial Insurance. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business insurance policies in 44 states around the country. They're based here in the Treasure Valley, but they can help you out wherever you're at if you own a business or handle the insurance for your business. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Boise Dentistry Co., full family dentistry. If you're looking for a new dentist for your kids, your grandma, your great-grandma, your aunt, uncle, whoever, they can help you out. Boise Dentistry Co., Dr. Miner and his staff do a tremendous job. Great full family dentistry, and they make it fun to go to the dentist. Again, check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com or 906-1255. Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking to a new career change, a fresh start, a new job, this could be anything from pulling one of those big rigs you see on the screen there or driving for Amazon. If you want to drive one of those Amazon trucks, they can help you get the permits, get everything set up, and get out there on the road ready to go. So check them out, transcomservice.com. Give them a call, 866-813-7620. And again, they're a local company that helps people all over the country, so make sure that you check them out. Idaho Central Credit Union as well. Appreciate them. ICCU.com, the mobile banking. It's so easy to use. Bronco Nation News made the switch and couldn't be happier to have them as the official bank of Bronco Nation News. I've deposited a check this morning already that you can do just by using the app, and it's very easy. So make sure to check out Idaho Central Credit Union. Final two things here, Jay. Offensive line, it looked like we thought it would, but you see it on paper, man, and it does look much improved from a year ago.
I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid.
I have been for a while, and I know it always comes back with the line. It seems like every year we say the O-line should be better, the O-line should be better, but the more and more we hear about what Kay Connie means to that group at center, that just sounds like maybe the biggest addition of the entire roster.
Yeah. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I think that group's going to be I think they're going to be good this year. Tim Plow saying yesterday, like Cade Beresford's addition to the roster, it was maybe as important as anybody, like any position.
Which he said in spring too. He stuck by that. He's said that a couple times now. I mean, yeah, he's huge. And Kay Connie, you only play 5 guys, Jay, as you know. So when you have two new guys, 40% of the line, and you're talking about it, 2 of the no offense to the guards, but I think you would say the tackles in the center are probably 3 of the more important spots. And so you add your center, and then you add a right tackle. I mean, I just there's a lot of reason to be excited, and then that trickles down to giving Hank more time to throw and finding more reads and progressions and giving the running game more time to go. I mean, a improved O-line could do wonders for this team, man.
There were 4 different guys that snapped the football for the Boise State football team last year.
So it was 3 that started. Who was the 4th that I wasn't thinking about? Because it was Jake Stetz, Will Farah, and Dante Harrington that all started games. Who was
right?
When he said that, I was trying to remember who the 4th guy was because I know 3. I thought it was 3 that started.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else came in the middle of the game for a couple snaps here and there.
I'm trying to rack my brain because I'm pretty sure there was a 4th.
Not that started, at least according to the game notes. But either way, it was a rotating door along the offensive line, and that Utah State game, the snaps were over Hank's head. I mean, it was not good.
They were scrambling to find an answer there last year. I said this in the press conference yesterday, and it wasn't meant to necessarily offend anybody, and I don't know if I even painted the picture right, but it's just kind of how I feel. It felt like at times last year Boise State was protecting their weaknesses on offense more than playing to their strengths. And the center position is a great example of that. They were doing all they could to just kind of hold on, right? That meant leaving a tight end, in protection more often than they wanted to. I just felt like they're protecting their weaknesses more than playing to their strengths last year due to the cards that they were dealt. This year they seem healthier, they seem deeper. It seems like they will have the full menu of offense of what they want to do and how they want to attack and the pace they want to operate at this year. And I don't know how many times from the jump last year they were necessarily given that scenario because, I mean, I remember sometimes we buy into the cliches, right, BJ, where it's like the coaches are like telling the players, hey, whatever happens, we got to be prepared to respond. And I get that. That's what they have to tell them. But trying to track who was playing where on the offensive line at UCF last year was chaotic. And I can't imagine that is something that, you can just, I don't know, smoothly progress through when the bullets are flying, So, I think that this year they're in just such a much better position with the offensive line. I really like, it's so funny. We don't even talk about Ben Dooley at guard or Garrett Kern at the left guard. I think that those guys are going to be really good too. And Ben at that right guard position, I just feel like that fits him a little bit more than maybe the right tackle position, at least right now in his career. And so you have guys that are playing to their strengths in position of strength. And I can't wait to see what it looks like, man. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Hey, final thing that stuck out to me on the depth chart was just the number of SRs next to the names. And I know we kind of knew like it was going to be a veteran team, but when you see it on paper, and you see that 10 of the 11 starters on defense are some sort of senior, redshirt senior, sixth year senior, whatever, and 8 of the 11 offensive starters are seniors, you're talking about 18 of your 22 on the offensive and defensive starters being seniors. You might know better than me, but I have to maybe think you'd go back a long time at Boise State to find that deep of 18 seniors out of 22 is just crazy. And even the other guys, 3 of them, George Helani is a redshirt junior, so it's his 4th year. Ben Dooley, I believe, or one of the other linemen was a redshirt junior. The only guy is Latrell Caples, his 3rd year, but the other guys are 4th year. And so it's just that stood out to me, that the amount of seniors and older players that are going to play a lot of snaps for this team.
I've been covering this team too long, BJ. So all that really does is it gives me anxiety for next fall camp.
That is the trade-off. That is the trade-off. It's going to be a much different. Now, some of those guys have years left.
Could come back.
You are going to lose a Zeke Noah, a Skinner, a Matlock. I mean, you're going to lose a lot of guys off this team, and so John Ojukwu, probably Hank Bachmeier. I mean, this is going to be there's a lot of reasons you want to have a great season and win a lot of games this year, and that's one of them.
Well, yeah, and that's why, like, when you look at developing the depth of this thing, it's more important than ever. And I don't want to jump ahead to next season before we even get through this season, but I do kind of say that in jest, but also in a little bit of reality, just because that's going to be a lot to replace next year. And but that it bodes well for a team that you hope starts fast. One thing about this team through, my first few years of covering it was that they always kind of scheduled that big season opening opponent, and usually they showed up and were prepared and ready to go, more so than that big opening opponent. And so now they get an opportunity to prove it right out of the gate against Oregon State, and no, it's not taking on this premier team that's a perennial top 25 powerhouse, but these are the games that you need to win, and a big reason why is Boise State is trying to prove that they belong in a conference like the Pac-12. And if you want to prove that, you have to prove that you can kind of be in the mid to upper echelon of the Pac-12, whether it comes to the perception of realignment or recruiting. When Boise State is recruiting well, they're beating schools like Washington State and Oregon State for recruits in the Northwest that they're targeting. And so for all of those reasons, this is a big game for both the present and future of the program, and we are only a few days away. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, man. 2 days from now, I'm be driving to friggin' Corvallis.
This is crazy, man.
Is nuts. It's here.
It's crazy. The season is here, and we'll obviously talk more about the actual matchup and the season and all that as we get closer to the end of the week. But first, here's a word from our friends at Lithia Ford.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
Hey, again, I want to give a quick shout-out. Sign up for a new subscription today, and you get a $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store. I mean, what kind of deal is that? I'm holding the cards in my hand right now. I'll get it in the mail to you in the next day or so. You want that new hat, that new shirt, that new jersey to get you ready for the season? I'm giving you a free $25 gift card just for signing up for a 1-year subscription to Bronco Nation News. So you go to bronconationnews.com, you click the subscribe button up in the corner, and I'll put a $25 gift card in the mail to you just for signing up. That's a heck of a deal. And if you are a current subscriber, I'm not forgetting about you either. If you're a current subscriber, I am looking to do a similar deal when it comes time in November and December for your subscription to renew. So I'm hoping that this works well and we get enough subscriptions here, and the Blue and Orange store wants to keep it going. And we'll try to make sure you guys get a gift card when you renew for year 2 as well. So right now we're trying to build up the new subscribers, but don't worry, I'm not forgetting about the old subscribers as well. And you guys are the ones that were there last night watching the show. I want to play another clip from John Mallory John Mallory, if you missed the subscriber-only show last night, then you missed this.
Got to credit DJ Schramm for holding him off, but for me to look at the depth chart like you guys did and see that Isaiah Banya had been moved back to edge. Like they flirted with it. They went on a couple of dates. It didn't really go anywhere. So you know what? We're just going to call this off. We'll go back to other people we were dating. And Banya now back at the edge. For me, BJ, as far as Avalos' press conference, those two things stood out.
Jay, what'd you make of Banya going back to edge and the dating reference there?
How am I supposed to follow that up? Like how am I? I mean, my only question is, Johnny, were you just quoting your girlfriend about going on dates and then it not being that interesting and
several others in my life. Luckily, not this one, though. But then again, I am in the garage right now. It's like 100 degrees, and she's in the bedroom watching like Love After Lockup or something. So, but yeah, man, all fun. And those TV guys, of course, BJ. The TV guy never can follow the radio guy. BJ, note this. You always have to ask the radio guy the question first because they're better on the fly.
That is true. And I'm drafting right now. So just maybe just chill for a second.
What do we got? Who's available? What do we got here?
Not a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not crazy about this pick. So
BJ, nobody cares. Let's talk BSU.
Yeah, that's a good point. Isaiah Banya going back, like I don't think it's like a huge
Oh, that was fun last night. We had Jay and Johnny for the first part of the show going back and forth. They're talking about drafting fantasy football players. Jay had to do a draft during. We had Johnny talking about that. We had Winston Venable coming on telling some great stories about Kellen Moore, no look passing him. You heard the one earlier in the show. So, again, if you subscribe today, you can still go back and watch that old show from last night. It was over an hour last night. And, we've had such great response on it. I'm going to have to get some more subscribers and maybe find another sponsor. But that might be, BNN After Dark. That might have to become I'm looking into maybe making that a more regular thing here. I don't know if we can quite go weekly. Maybe we will if the interest is there. Maybe we get Winston to bring on one of his former teammates every week and we have a drink and have some fun. We'll have to check on that if we can make it work. But there was a lot of interest in last night's show. I really appreciate everybody that checked it out. If you're a subscriber, hopefully it was worth it to you. And again, if you're not a subscriber, I'm going to keep pushing it because I only got a few left. I want to try to sell these out by kickoff on Saturday. Sign up for a $70 subscription, 1 full year, 12 months. You get all these exclusive shows, all these offers, exclusive stories, recruiting stuff, all kinds of stuff. And you get that's all for $70, which by itself is a great deal. But if not, then you get that $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store. So sign up today online at BroncoNationNews.com. You will not be disappointed. Jordan says BNN After Dark was amazing. Loved it. Appreciate that, Jordan. He was telling me that him and his brother were watching it on their TV, with the smartphones or smart TVs. You can go to YouTube and watch this show or any of our live shows right there on YouTube. So they had a little watch party at their house on their couch watching the show last night. So we truly appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Winston Venable is going to join me on tomorrow's show. He makes his Wednesday appearance. That's every Wednesday. And another special announcement in the next few days. I'm recording something today, and then I'm not sure when I'm going to play it back, but I have another addition to the Bronco Nation News team. How about this? If you're not liking what you're seeing so far, I'm adding somebody else to the Bronco Nation News team, and I will be recording that segment today and deciding when I want to play it back on the show. Maybe on the pregame show Saturday, maybe Friday. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in. But maybe if we can get 10 or 15 more subscribers today, I'll announce it tomorrow with Winston. But we do have another addition to the Bronco Nation News team that I'm very excited about. I think if you liked Winston Venable, I think you're going to love our next edition here. So we're trying to continue to build this, add members to the team, bring you insight that you're not getting other places. And it's been a lot of fun. And, Saturday will be the first football game for Bronco Nation News. We started after they had lost to San Diego State to drop to 7-5. So we've never had a football game or a football season since we started Bronco Nation News here. So looking forward to this journey this fall and seeing what the Broncos can do. And we'll be there every step of the way, every home game, every road game. We'll be too deep. We'll have Colin Mitchell and we'll have myself at Saturday's game in Corvallis. And if you guys know Colin, I think he's undefeated. I guess the Memphis game was his first loss, but Colin is like 14-1 or something. Boise State is 14-1 or something when Colin's in the stands, at least for basketball last year. So having Colin in the press box maybe is a good sign for Boise State. So he's asking if it's Dirk Cutter. No, it's not Dirk Cutter because he is associated with the team. It's not somebody that's currently coaching or associated with the team. That wouldn't work. So it's not Dirk Cutter. Michael says, go Broncos, great job. Appreciate it. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll have another addition to the team here in the near future and a lot of great things going. But we can only, we're paying these guys. We pay Jay for coming on. We pay Winston. We pay Johnny and Prater. We pay the new addition here. So, if you want to see us keep adding people, keep making it worth it to you, these subscriber shows, it takes your commitment. So hopefully folks are liking what they're seeing. Pull the trigger today. It's game week. What better way to sign up than game week? We got stories on the website every day this week. We got shows. We had the subscriber show last night, which, again, you can go back and watch if you sign up. And then you get that $25 gift card as well to the Blue and Orange store if you sign up today for a 1-year subscription. We also wouldn't be possible without rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. If you're looking to spruce up your garage floor, your back patio, your basement, their concrete coatings are just unbelievable. 4 times stronger than epoxy. They come with that nice long warranty, and they got all different color combinations. You can get the blue and orange one if you want to have the Boise State style in your garage or your basement. So check them out, roepaint.com. Tell them that you heard about it on Bronco Nation News, and hopefully they'll hook you up with a solid deal. So appreciate everybody for checking us out today. We're heading down to Boise State today. We've got Hank Bachmeier and J.L. Skinner, I believe, today. So Hank Bachmeier, J.L. Skinner, and I believe Kane Ione is the coach today. So check our YouTube channel later today. Make sure you are subscribing to that YouTube channel, and we will get those interviews up as soon as they're done. So we'll put the full Hank Bachmeier interview, the full J.L. Skinner interview, Kane Ione on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. We'll have some clips maybe with Winston tomorrow, but if you want to see the full interview with Bachmeier and Skinner to get you ready for the season, make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, and then we will post all of the videos right there after the show for you to watch that way. So appreciate everybody. Again, if breaking news or anything happens, we'll hop back on here. I'll have a story on the website this afternoon. I have one on there now if you want to go check it out about the depth chart and my takeaways from the depth chart and things like that. So you can check that out for subscribers now. And then we'll be looking at George Solani in the next couple of days and the workhorse back that it sounds like he's going to be. So we got a lot of stuff coming to the site. And then Thursday night, I'll be heading west, and we'll do Friday's show from Oregon. And then we'll have the pregame show Saturday as well. Don't forget, if you're coming to Corvallis and you're getting there on Friday, come join us 4 to 8 p.m. Sky High Brewing. They open at 4 o'clock. We'll be there at 4 o'clock. It says 5 on there, but apparently it's really tough to get spots. So if you're coming, try to come closer to 4 if you can, if you're going to be in town by then. If not, show up when you can. We'll do what we can do about snagging you some spots. But 4 to 8 p.m. Sky High Brewing in Corvallis on Friday. So hopefully you'll come check it out. We'd love to meet some of you. My wife will be there, and my son Naismith are flying over. So looking forward to that. But we'll bring some BNN shirts with us. We'll have a couple other giveaways maybe. So come check us out Friday, September 2nd from 4 to 8, downtown Corvallis at Sky High Brewing. Hope to see a lot of you there on Friday. So thanks for checking us out. Hope you enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed that subscriber show last night. And again, another announcement coming in the next couple of days here at Bronco Nation News. So tell your friends. Hope folks will subscribe. We would appreciate that. It would mean a lot to us. And again, we got a lot going on. So looking forward to Saturday's game. We'll have those Bachmeier and Skinner interviews up this afternoon. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com, your source for the top Boise State coverage. Hopefully you remember that and check us out every day. And we're getting closer to Saturday's kickoff, and can't wait. We'll have you covered here at Bronco Nation News.
At ICCU, to make a difference, it takes just one connection, a friendly face, an open ear, a helping hand. And then something amazing happens. We find out that we're better together. This is what Idaho Central does in our communities every day. We help our members with the small things and big dreams. This is what believing in you is all about. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.